I wonder if there's any beef between the East Coast racers and the West Coast racers. I mean, the East Coast racers, they play dirty sometimes, but the West Coast, they got a little bit of an attitude to them. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin, and today we're listening to Big Big Train with their song East Coast Racer. This is off of their album English Electric Part 2, which was released in 2013. A lot of you guys have been asking for not only Big Big Train, but specifically this song, so I'm definitely happy to listen to it, happy to bring you your request. Guys, I hope that you're having an absolutely fantastic day. You're more than welcome to join me on Twitter. You're more than welcome to join me in the comments down below and let me know what you think of the song, as well as some other songs perhaps that I might enjoy from the Big Big Train. And let's do it. This is Big Big Train with East Coast Racer.
as you like. For the engines and men of the world, he sees love, he sees hope, he sees everything that they are. The need to fly far. He sees love.
As always, I would love to know what you guys thought of the song, first of all, so please leave your comments down in the comment box below. So that was one of the best songs that I've heard in recent times. Absolutely, not even a thought about it. Halfway through this song, I added it onto my playlist. There's actually no question about it. This, to me, is every single thing that modern progressive music should be. Everything. Like, everything. This 15 minutes flew by so quick as the East Coast Racer. That's how quick the time flew by. Wasn't even thinking about it. Half of the time, I wasn't even nodding my head or anything because I really was just like, I just wanted to sit there and enjoy it. Yes, my mental state was nodding along with the music. But me, I was honestly in shock. This is the first time that I'm recording for this particular session, and this set the bar kind of impossibly high, to be honest. Guys, can you say breathtaking? Because this is breathtaking. First of all, if I can make a comparison, and I don't mean to compare bands, but I'm going to compare bands. This song feels like what a modern day Genesis would sound like. Singing, which is done by Dave Longden, who among the singing does a lot of other things, including flutes, tambourine, melodica, keyboard, some other things in there. Birds and Bees, it says, which I don't know. I don't know about that, but he sounds like the best of both worlds when it comes to, just for example, relating to Genesis, Phil Collins and Peter Gabriel. Texture, passion, and emotion of Peter, and yet that finesse that Phil Collins has. But he's his own person. I'm just using those to compare, but Dave Longden, absolutely killer vocals. I was not expecting so much orchestration to come in. I like how it sneaks in some parts with the violin, and then eventually we get more full-blown sounds. Trumpet eventually comes in to just blow out with that final climax especially. I mean, that's up there. You gotta admit, that's up there. Once again, I want to know your thoughts before I keep on spazzing out about this, because this is actually perfect. I'm going to watch the live version on my own after I finish recording here. Nick DiVirgilio. Maybe the G is silent. DiVirgilio. I'm sorry. Nick. The drumming. The percussion. Did you guys hear the drumming and the percussion? Just I feel like this song has the best of all of progressive rock music. How, I see it sometimes in the comments, but how sometimes you hear comments, or maybe you've even thought about it, there's no music like this anymore. And of course, for example, the 70s progressive rock movement, that's the 70s progressive rock movement. Of course, they don't make that anymore like that. But I feel like listening to this song, you're pretty close. This could easily be considered a classic, whether in that era or in this era, 2021, or when it was actually released in 2013. This feels like a classic. This feels up there. Yes, on first listen, I will put this up there with, I don't know, what do you want to put it up there with? Awaken from Yes? Can't give it quite close to the edge yet. I have to listen to it again, but it's up there. You want to put it up with Supper's Ready? Let's do it. Absolutely. On first listen, it's a bold statement, but it's a statement I'm going to stand by. One thing I noticed also is talking about the bass playing, Gregory Spotton, taking care of the bass, looks like primarily, even though he also has some. All of them have like other things that they're also involved in. They are multi-talented and multifaceted, like a diamond. But Gregory Spotton, fantastic bass playing, really nice throughout this whole song. But one thing I really noticed is that if you listen carefully, in the sections where the orchestration is really starting to pick up and kind of becomes like the main foundation and backbone of the song, listen to the bass playing alongside, specifically with the violin, the orchestra, the strings, all of that. The bass actually plays a great role in that symphonic sound. Something, at least personally, I wouldn't really think about, but listening to it and just how perfectly they complemented each other. They were totally locked in sync, just wonderfully done. The bass providing that symphonic sound alongside with, of course, the typical things such as the violins and the strings. I mean, just brilliant, really. Guitar, Dave Gregory, which is blazing and just fire. I mean, really every single member in the band was just amazing. I'm honestly impressed. And then I'm looking on Wikipedia at the personnel and the guest list. That's how I'm understanding who's doing what. And I don't know if this is common, I don't know if this is just me noticing this, but when it comes to that orchestral sound and the orchestra that's playing and the people that are playing there, they're not like just the blank orchestra. You know, it's not just like grouped in there like this orchestra, that's what they're doing. It actually has all of the musicians who are playing each thing in there listed. So like I said, I don't know if that's typical. I don't know if, you know, maybe they just are session musicians, or maybe they play with Big Big Train in several different occasions. I don't know. But regardless, I just think it's really cool how they pay respect to each individual member, not only of the band, but of the orchestra part of things, because sometimes they can be vastly overlooked. Let's briefly at least talk about the music, okay? So first of all, let me pull it down here a little bit. Opening with some really smooth keys here. The album name, like I said, is English Electric Part 2. English Electric Part 1 was released in 2012. So I like this because, yes, it sounds like the opening of a new chapter. It sounds like a new act in a play. But at the same time, it also has a bit of a continuation feeling. I haven't heard English Electric Part 1, but I would imagine that in some parts, the beginning of East Coast Racer, which is the opening track on the album, references, or at least continues, where the previous album left off. And it feels like a nice continuation. That is absolutely fantastic. Love the backup harmonies as well on the back end of the lead vocals. I mean, I'm actually going. I'm gonna try not to sit here and pick apart every single little moment because there's so many, like just glorious moments. But I want to talk about at least a few of them because this whole thing is very, very well constructed. It feels organic, and one of the problems for me personally, for example, one of the reasons I kind of got bored of Dream Theater when I was like a huge fanboy of Dream Theater is because after a while the music just felt like it was technical for the sake of being technical and wasn't really playing towards the song. And I'm not really into that. You know, it's just not my thing. I can only be wowed by how many scales you can play in 3 seconds so many times. But this comes across with the same personality, once again to me, as the classics of progressive rock. Showing off, absolutely, but it makes sense within the song. It's organic within the song and implemented with care and actual like proficiency, musicianship, and big one, songwriting. Big emotionally charged moments, slowing down the music, allowing space to dwell. And in all of this space, they allow things to pick up, whether that is guitar, whether that is the drums and the cymbals. I mean, there's just so much that they're using within the space itself. I love the organ, by the way, that comes in on those quieter moments. We get a little bit of violin here that comes in as well. Yeah, giving you hints that there's bigger things to come. I mean, it's already sounding huge, but there's like big things to come. Such smooth transitions. That's what I mean, the song, it's very fluid. It moves at the right pace, everything hits at the right time, and most importantly, at least to me, it hits at the right time emotionally. And at 5 minutes in, we have already experienced so much from the band. See, and it's in moments like this, we would say, okay, this is the show-off part of the band. This is the show-off part of the song. Yes, it is, but it makes sense. It makes sense. It's not just tossed in there. You don't have to toss in the kitchen sink just because you got 2 sinks. Songwriting. And vocally, I am even getting some Radiohead vibes a little bit. But just a nice gloss and a nice texture over the airwaves of sound that are being produced. Bass playing. Come on. Drumming. Come on. Every orchestra. Like, it feels so impassioned. And right here, just with the violin specifically in the way that they're shredding right there. Okay, so I was kind of following the lyrics and, I mean, talking about the band, but it sounds like it's pretty much talking about a train, right? So in that specific moment, you hear the train picking up speed, you hear the wheels, like, as they're turning, you hear the fires being stoked as coal is burned to you know, drive the train to wherever it's going. And come on. How do you not feel something right here? Guys, that is stunning. That is stunning. Feel the train breaking through the mountains, breakneck speed, around the bend. The sunlight is just shining on these dreamers, these people who have built this train and they're building it and traveling 126 miles per hour. My camera just restarted because it ran out of time, so now a little bit of my steam is taken out of what I was saying. You're telling me you didn't feel anything listening to that? Love the way that the trumpets enter as well. I mean, that's giant. That is that's perfection. That's how you build up steadily and readily into a climax that makes sense within the context of the song and makes the listener feel the things you want them to feel. Makes the listener feel that euphoria that they deserve to feel at the end of a song like this. And this euphoria comes in at 10 minutes. Not even the full 15 minutes. At this point, when I was listening, I was thinking, guys, this is the top of the hill. What are we going to do for the next 3 minutes? Because I feel like I've already been there. I've already gotten to where I want it to be. So what's left? And then, you know what? They give you a little bit left. But you know what? They give you just another hill at the end of that mountain. That is gorgeous. I'm sorry, I came back to this again. But that's the moment where they break that record, where all their dreams are realized. That's the moment of victory. And then even coming back to the moments just before that giant climax, this feels like that tension, that apprehension before, not knowing if you will break that record, not knowing if, you will be able to attain what you're going after. It gives it a little pause. It's almost like when the train slows down, scenery slows down around you, and you're just hoping that all of the pieces fall into place. And of course, magically in the song, they really do. Time starts to speed up just a little bit. Things, slowly, one by one, start to fall into place. The vocals here, gorgeous. Gorgeous, guys. So hopeful. Yeah. And then the last note as he pushes that off when he says she flies. Can't deny how amazing that is. Let's talk about the lyrics really quick. Shaped for speed, strong on the wing, the sketches and designs were made. Frames were laid by hand-picked men, working every hour they had to build the fire, to make the engine. Looking to the road ahead, blows are struck to forge the steel so she could fly. So that's what I mean. Like, this isn't just the story of a train racing at breakneck speeds, setting records. This is about the work of all of these people who put work and time and energy into building this train, into building the frame of it, into working and blood, sweat, and tears, putting their best into this, putting their best into, I would imagine, a dream of sorts. The road is clear and words remain unsaid. He walks the high wire with the engines and men of the line. He sees love, he sees hope, he sees everything that they are. The need to fly far, he sees love. He sees the love that they have, I'm sure, for the dream of the train itself, but probably the camaraderie. That's the word I'm wanting to use. He probably sees the love that they have for each other. He probably sees, when he sees them working, he probably thinks of their families and what they're working for. It's not just for this train and setting a record, but it's for their families. It's for dreams. It's for hope. Men as giants, hammers falling, the work's own heartbeat. Furnace stacks with black smoke rising, steal the clean air. Here she comes. Joe and Tommy on the plate, their caps are worn in racing style. Hey, mine too. Elbows jutting from the cab, working every hour they had to build the fire, to drive the engine, looking to the road ahead. There was a lonely voice and it spoke these words, run hard as you like for the engines and men of the line. He sees love, he sees hope, he sees everything that they are, the need to fly far, he sees love. And then it goes along and talks about the journey of the train and how it's passing people, and it's just really, really nicely written. I'm really impressed by the music itself. I really like how the last lines, say that she flies with them into the sky, into history, into legend. She flies, talking about the steam engine, the train, the locomotive. What else I gotta say about this? I'm on Big Big Train's website and they have a little bit of a blurb here that they are talking about this song and the East Coast Racer. Says that on July 3rd, 1938, a steam-lined locomotive called Mallard set the world record for steam trains traveling at 126 miles per hour on a straight downhill stretch of the East Coast Main Line. The story of Mallard has been described by Andrew Martin as being like chariots with fire, with steam engines, and it became, for me, an irresistible theme for a song. However, it wasn't so much Mallard, but the people who designed, made, fired, and drove her that interested me. That's what I like. It's not just about the train, it's about the people behind the train. And it is their tale we tell over the 15 minutes or so of East Coast Racer. That's fantastic. Big, big train. If you happen to come across this video, I'm more than impressed. Whatever the word is that's beyond impressed, like impressed is right here, and there's probably like 2 or 3 words like above it. Those words, which I can't think of right now, that's what I feel listening to this song. Guys, I would love to know your thoughts on the song. Please join me in the comments down below and let me know your thoughts. Join me on Twitter if you like. Sometimes I post random stuff there. You can also help and support the channel over on Patreon. You don't have to, but it definitely helps out a little bit. And I just hope you have a fantastic day. I'm going to have a fantastic day after this. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.